Good morning, everybody. Today, we're playing Pillars of Eternity. There's some kind of update. Let's see here. Deadfire items and new portrait. Deadfire themed, unique, and soulbound items from the sequel are now available here in the Eastern Reach. Additionally, new portraits are available in character creation. Help make our games better. Enabling telemetry will help us learn more about how you play the game by allowing bug reports. Sure, why not? You can telemetry me. Quest updates. New movement or engagements. Sure, news. Finish calling. Telemetry of country. Area loot radius. Always be maximum. There's no reason not to have the maximum. It's just if set per members will not receive knockout injuries when they are reduced to 0 endurance in combat. Don't know what that means. Zero effect highlighting. Maim companions before death. Characters have been maimed instead of dying permanently the first time. Their health is 0. Understood this essentially access to inner location. I like that. That's makes it a bit easier. Cuts on traveling back. Oh, let's fix this a little bit. Wow. Okay. Qualifiers unlocked. Showing tutorials. Show relative defense. Display the effect of choosing each transition option. No, I'm not going to display that because that was a big pain in the ass when I was playing Tyranny, and it made me answer not honestly and tried to game the system, and it wasn't as fun. So this, no bueno. Telling me what unlocked something, that's fine, I'm cool with that. Hovering over enemies will provide public comparison of their known defense scores with accuracy. Sure. Nope. Detailed quest updates. Okay, cool. Auto pause. Enemies spotted. Combat starts. Okay, graphics. We do not need VSync. We do not need full screen. Font. Ligatures will be used on certain characters and text boxes. I don't know what ligatures are. Probably more in solid HUD background. Big. Why? Why is that an option? Cage cursor. We don't need the cage cursor. Show party endurance as numbers. Graphic quality max. Reading, so you want the font to be really big. Sound controls. Okay. Okay. New game. Story time. Story time is for players who are more interested in this. This is a good option. People who say otherwise are elitist scum. They need to stop being fanboys and just enjoy their game and enjoy other people enjoying the game that they enjoy. Just suggesting that having an easy mode or a no combat mode somehow makes the game not as good for the people. Bullshit. Bullshit. So normal. Mode to save the number of helper features in the game. Players who want to rely on their own faculties and intuition will play in the game should play expert. This option is set when you start a new game. Cannot be. Okay, and trial of iron. Let's keep it simple for now. Accept. Alright, so let's see what happens. I love me some Obsidian. Baldur's Gate was my jam back in the day. I like that they have their own company now. That they're not a subsection of BioWare. Shield or suit of armor can be enchanted by clicking the enchant button from its description page. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Sure is taking a while to load up.
5 wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know. The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
Male or female? Let's start off with female. We'll go from there. Race, human. What the heck is this? Mighty Amana are the largest of the kith. So a human gets +1 result and +1 mind, +2 mind. Only found in or near oceans. They're not truly aquatic, they have an affinity for water, and many of their civilizations, such as Rawatai, are based on naval dominance. They are known for their unparalleled strength. Dwarf! Aha! By virtue of land covered and number of colonies settled, dwarves are the most well-traveled race in the world. They are commonly found in the drywood. Colonial nation founded this republics. Almost any colonized land. Dwarves are known for their great strength and tenacity. First negative. So +2 strength, elf. Elves are the dominant race in Air Calfath. In the west, and the white that ones are extremely common in the drywood and Aether. Elves are known for their speed and intelligence, as well as a commonly isolationist nature. Orlan. What's an Orlan? The heck is that a chicken person? Orlans are the smallest of the kith races, though many cultures don't consider them to be civilized at all. Also notable for their large ears. Those are ears? Yeah, those are ears, jeez. Two-toned skin and hirsute bodies. Orlans are commonly found in Air Path, the Exmittal Plains, and parts of the drywood. They're known for their mental intensity and sharp senses. Godlike. What the heck's a godlike? What the heck? She's got stuff growing on her face. The godlike are children of the Kaith, civilized races who have been blessed with physical aspects associated with the gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. These aspects may take many forms and often come with mystical powers. Aberrant head shapes are typical, and godlike are unable to wear protective headgear where it is near impossible to find anything that fits. Because of their unusual nature, their inability to reproduce, godlike are often viewed with fear and wonder. Sure, I'll be godlike. Weird. Death godlike. Ooh, death godlikes are the most distrusted of their kind. Strange growths cover their eyes, or in some cases entire face, giving them a sinister appearance. Growths are transparent for the godlike, but opaque for the outside, hiding their features. Death godlike are commonly killed at birth because many cultures consider them to be harbingers of doom. Spooky. Death's Usher. When death godlike attack an enemy with 25% or less endurance, their damage is increased, so they like finishing people off. Okay. Fire godlike. Whoa! Bodies of fire godlike often resemble hot metal, burned wood, or stone, with harmless flames that erupt from the cracks in their skin. Fire godlike are objects of both reverence and fear in the Deathfire archipelago. Many locals believe they have the power to awaken volcanoes, or that killing one will cause a volcano to awaken. In the drywood, fire godlike are often seen as a sign of the blessing of Magran, goddess of war and fire. It's a lot of things, a lot of descriptors that she's in charge of. Battle forge. When reduced below 50% endurance, fire godlike, glow like metal in a forge, gaining damage reduction and doing a small amount of fire damage to their tanks. Okay, moon godlike. Woo, I like the halo. It's really cool. Moon godlike are the most tolerated of the godlike, while their skin tone and a large moon-like growth on their foreheads may be strange to some. Their appearances are generally considered more palatable by the other kith. Sailors have many beliefs about moon godlike and their propensity to bring luck, though there is little agreement as to what kind of luck they tend to bring. So tide, every encounter used below 75, 50, and 25 endurance. Moon godlike generate waves of healing that restores endurance to them and their allies. So there's more like a healy tanky thing. And nature. Nature godlike appear to be a fusion of human and animal features, often covered by plants, moss, or fungi. This has led to the common stigma that they are diseased and many are killed at birth because of it. Many druidic orders have a keen interest in nature godlike because of their general curiosity as to how souls occupy animals, plants, and stones. Think of life. Grants a bonus to Minecraft. I'm gonna go with moon. Moon godlike. That halo is pretty bitchin'. Body type. Ooh. Interesting. Be a really big godlike. Okay, so there are many classes. But what's a cipher? Recent discovery: these future ciphers were once called Brishelguin, mind hunters, by the Glanfathans, like whatever the heck that is. Ciphers have the ability to directly contact and manipulate another person's soul and psyche using an ally's or enemy's essence as the focus for their magic. Though most ciphers are still found in the Eastern Reach, practitioners of the technique have spread throughout the known world. They are gaining acceptance over time, but are generally distrusted, especially by the uneducated. Starting ability. Powers. Ciphers can directly target allies and enemies with powerful soul-focused effects. These powers cost focus, which ciphers build through the use of their soul web. Stealth, lore, mechanics. Any kind of attempt to avoid being seen or heard. Characters accumulated notes and trivia, often occult or esoteric topics. I'll take that later. Outside of the conversation and scripted interactions, lore is used to activate scrolls. Higher lower values to use higher level scrolls. Mechanics. Traps and locks. Okay. Endurance. Alright, so endurance is 36 plus 12 per level, which is very low. endurance within a character's short term damage is absorbed by a character's damage reduction goes straight to their endurance and health. Health is 4 times endurance, which is low. Accuracy is deflection. Okay. So it's going to be a low HP person that heals themselves whenever they get hit. What's a chanter? Different equipment. In every culture across Eora, there are chanters. Many historians consider chanters to be the most ancient workers of magic. They're hallowed phrases stirring the collective memory of wayward souls around them, compelling them to generate magical effects in a kind of reenactment. In some societies, chanters form organized groups of storytellers and researchers. But in most parts of the world, they're just a time-honored part of local folk traditions. All characters can continuously speak chants made up of magical phrases. Phrases produce passive effects and help build the chanter's power until they can use an invocation. Invocations. Powerful magical effects that chanters can create after they have spoken a required number of phrases through their chant. Lower mechanics. So low. There's a druid, ranger, priest, paladin, monk. A moon monk. Transcendent suffering. When monks have no weapons equipped, their unarmed attacks are exceptionally powerful and continue to increase in damage as they gain levels. As monks are damaged, their pain generates wounds. Wounds can be used to power many of the monk's special abilities. Sure, we'll go with monk. Monk seems like a good fit for a moon godlike. So I'm gonna be a moon monk. Nice. Ooh, monk abilities. So I can do this or this. Swift strikes. The monk's hands become offensive blur. Flipping effectively for 10 seconds. Or which requires 1 wound. A minus 2 might use ability explodes to shared bonds of suffering between all beings. The initial target is hit with a powerful blow that does additional crush damage. Enemies in a cone behind the target suffer crush damage and their might reduced. Sure, we'll go with that. Almost like a combo thing. So these are highly recommended and it's slightly recommended. Okay, I see. So what's resolve? Resolve affects their internal drive, determination, and fearlessness, and the emotional intensity they can project to others. Can be useful for mental intimidation, leadership, conviction performances. In combat, it helps characters maintain concentration. Fear to have their spells or attacks interrupted. Okay, intellect. Okay, perception. Alright, so dexterity. Alright, so let's put a couple points to dexterity. Some into constitution, since that seems to be kind of a thing, and put some into might for the damages. So action speed and reflex. Let me put some into this so I can actually interrupt people. I have to reduce stuff. But I think actually I can reduce intellect by 1. You know what? I'll keep it like that. I'm fine with those stats. Culture. Oh, so it gives you a stat. And it probably affects some other stuff too. Ooh, it affects how you dress and how people perceive you. Ice. Pale elves and small communities of daring explorers, outcasts, and an adventurer. Mentioning no plant life grows in the white. It is home to many hardy species of dangerous animals that forage from the sea or prey upon each other to survive. And then the Living Lands is the mountainous region of a large northern island known for its diversity of plants and life. Its weather is unpredictable and its ecosystem varies dramatically from valley to valley. The living lands are home to an assortment of races and a variety of colonial settlement. Its constitution. Nation. The Gulf itself is host to a number of nations. Some countries are relatively young. They are some of the most advanced colonial settlements in the East. The Gulf is a land of riches and resources for those who can take them. Because storms, intellect, resolve, dexterity. Let's go with these guys. Nations of dozens of settlements and hundreds of lawless pirate-infested islands. That's a good place to train to be a monk among pirates. Some to boreal dwarves, Aumaua, and a mixed variety of other races. Deadfire, Archipelago. I don't know why, but I have such a tough time saying that word. Archipelago is the last stop for anyone headed east. A multitude of monstrous sea creatures infest the ocean beyond, making travel virtually impossible. Alright, next. Ooh, background. Aristocrat, drifting monk, slave, merchant, laborer, explorer. Let's go explorer monk. Trying to like a missionary almost. Okay. You find the siren's call of the horizon irresistible. You cannot help but wonder what lies beyond the next hill. A wave, and you've built your life around finding out. Haha, appearance. Dark red. And black. Oh wow. Some interesting. Ooh, I like this one. Okay. Hey, that's her. Perfect.
I'm here.
I shall lead us. Let's go!
They won't see me coming.
Yes? Follow me. Let's go!
Easy does it. Yeah? Watch and learn.
I like that. Moon monk. Moon monk. Nah. Moon monk. Reported for duty. Journey to Gilded Vale. Caravan master finished addressing the group. His bushy red mustache and sagging jowls. It's a fun word. Jowls. Quivering as if for emphasis.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you were planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
Okay.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
Yeah, turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, course. Which case you'll be dead in a day. There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Assistant, a lanky, intense man named Sparfell, who carries an old sun-bleached bow. Sparfell nods and slides the worn bow over his shoulder.
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one. Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pawn, so I hear.
Good electrical skills. Well, no. Options. Okay. Cool.
Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much. Not if you hurry about your business. And not if the weather holds up. This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beawick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never cared to. They don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days. The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that. Hold on. Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. But you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep. Kalisha. Kalisha!
No promises.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her, you're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything. Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a beawick, we'll shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be damned.
You heard the man. Let's get going before you keel over.
I want to watch these windows to become familiar with the tools and interfaces available to you. The party always consists of your characters and up to 5 additional companions or adventures. While the caravan is camped outside the Glanfathan ruins, Odema has assigned Kalisha to help you. Kalisha is a fighter, class that excels at close quarters defense. Your abilities to complement your own. See, that's clever. You put down a tank so that no matter what class you choose, she'll be able to help you out. And very likely, she's also a healer of some type. Yes, I know how to select fighters. Move selected and move them as well. Look.
Mm-hmm.
And multiple partners selected.
Hey there.
Okay.
Hmm?
Yeah?
What you need?
Hey there.
Alright, what's this? Picking mechanics or lockpicking and a combination to use them. Interesting. That's very clever.
Sure.
Okay, is there a way to... Ah. Don't need any of that. Alright. Yes. Ooh, that's really slow. That'll do. Alright.
Mm-hmm.
Obsidian. Order. Soon order of shattered mystery. Cold having sequels of some choice. Cool. Tiny obsidian worm. It's a pet. Sure. Giant miniature space piglet. Ha! That's a reference to Boo, which was a giant space hamster. Lawns Bridge, reading properties, Lawns Bridge. This ability is shield away from the myriad perils that plague the god. I don't know why I have this, but I have this, right? Light armor, medium armor. It's lockpicks. Okay, cool. Stash, crafting. Wow, there's actually crafting in there. Oh, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
Yeah?
See men wearing simple, mostly new clothes. He's transfixed, however, by ragged tear in the seam of his tunic.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road. Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look. I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right? Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night. It's not as big as it used to be, but it's still big. The mainland is a continent northwest of here, but the colonies used to include Raed Ceres and the Deerwood. About 150 years ago, Deerwood won its independence from the Empire. A fact our companions are quick to remind me of. Because it seemed friendlier than Raed Ceres? My brothers took over the family mercantile business a few years ago, and there wasn't enough for me to do back home. I moved out to try and expand.
Crossbow, great sword, hunting bow. So I picked a character. There lies very, 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 very little on I should put I see on equipment. So this is going to, so stores are not going to be very important for me. Retrain character. Interesting. I don't know what retraining means.
Hey there.
Stores allow you to trade and sell your items for copper pieces or items in the stores until merchants buy items at a greater reduced price. If you sell something, you may see it appear. Okay.
Sure.
Question is key to puzzle eternity as you make your way through the eastern reach. In the area map to see what parts of the map you've already been to and what's left to explore. Horses. What's this? In an item. Ingredient. Volumes crated. I see. It's kind of weird that they keep the horses so far away from the direct line of sight.
Not looking forward to trying to lift that thing tomorrow.
Look how big I am compared
Hey
to this
there.
lady. I am massive.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the deal.
Hey there.
All right, follow me. Hmm?
I've been doing that. That's kind of a thing that you learn if you play Baldur's Gate even a little bit. A bottle.
This is recent. Not good.
I don't know why it keeps.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
A young wolf. I'll go and punch it. Somebody use a possible real-time system. Used it before. Terrorism engaged. It's the same as tyranny. Alright. You scored a crit. It better result in a hit, and they're more likely to occur when the attack's accuracy is higher than target defense. Do more damage on crits. Well, that was easy. Wolf hide. Huh. Okay.
This is it.
It says you've had some interesting travels. To do anything for her, she's much better. She's a much better owner than me. So I'm here, and we'll see. You know, I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive a route this way, but he's doing it for me. Simple needs like open skies and far horizons, and work that lets me live that way. Family wonders too. Started in. Oh God. In Deerwood, but my parents ended up in the Living Lands. I've got a brother in Ravatai and another in Adir. My sister in Gilded Vale, she's the only real homebody. Not much for history, but from what I know, it used to be part of the Adir Empire, broke off after a war some years back. The locals here are feisty, and that's how they like it. Been out of touch, but I've been hearing weird kinds of things about it lately. People having trouble giving birth, I guess. A lot of them. Been going on for years now, but somehow it's getting worse. And an uneasy tremor in her voice she adds, I'll have to ask my sister more about it. You know, I wouldn't hold my breath that Sparfield's getting you water anytime soon. He does what he feels like when he feels like it. Should check up on him first, slap him around a little. Seems just down that way. Come on, let's get you your water. There's a river right there. And you gotta boil the water first. But I mean, water. Unless it's salt, in which case it's a lot more work, but you know. Still water.
We shouldn't stray too far.
Maybe like a bucket for the water or something? Okay, let's look at journal. Collect some stringers and okay, so I have to find Spotify. Veil. Okay, let's check the other stuff in this. Inventory, characters, got all the information about your character. And some infos. Some background and stuff and attributes. Alright, there's a journal, map, stronghold. You do not own the stronghold yet. That's kinda cool. Alright, this one doesn't have spell ability like the other one does. So that way. You know something?
Something else you need?
No? Contact details? No? Alright.
Still waiting on Sparfell, which means he's ignored me again. If I'd known he wanted to slow us down, I'd have just tied him to the back of the wagon and dragged him. I'm sorry, you want your water, you better go find him. He's got all the skins.
Shit, come on, let's go look for him.
Maybe he's hiding out near the horses. It's a small map. Where would he be? Could he be down here? Let's go look. We'll check just about
Easy
every
does
spot.
it.
Check just about every. Oh, what's that?
What a surprise, Sparf.
Again, item plus 4. I was season of the possible strangers to his gate. His strength probably is the most words related breath.
Sparfel? Are you all right? Ambush!
Yeah?
Jack him. Weapon response simply isn't well suited for penetrating enemies. Damage reduction. The DR will wipe out all but a small percentage of the income damage. You'll hear these characters complain about it when it happens. Take heat. Note the damage type is being blocked. Switch your weapon or spell that does a different damage type. Punch!
Come on, we have to get back to camp. What you need?
Oh. Sparfell's dead? Really? That's unfortunate. Okay.
Hey there.
Bow, hatchet, shield. Light. Copper.
What you need?
Oh jeez, they've murdered everybody. Sin above the fallen, treading on limbs, necks, heads, jerking the axes from bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them, towering and severe, with thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade to the neck of the man you recognize as Heodan, the last of your caravan left standing. Run! Run, little man! I'll take this one, and you can go after that one.
Hmm?
There we go. Lightning strike this guy. Knock down this guy.
Show him
Lies supine on the ground, unable to rise as compared to that sound among the others. Faithful Gaspar looks not at you, but at the sky above you. Forgive us. No, beneath the church sighs a whisper of Winster's ear. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he closes them. Good, good. The gods are just. Curious smile crosses his face. I'm ready. Wind begins to swell, whipping around the camp, electric and volatile, upending pots and rattling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin, and where it pierces, it feels as though it is rending you apart from within. Seated against a wagon wheel amid the howling maelstrom slashes his chest and bow, Adema's body stirs, and with great effort he raises his sagging head as belly open. He looks directly at you.
Get inside!
Run!
Run!
Many spells and abilities include a limited number of uses. An ability that can be used a number of times per encounter will have all of its uses restored when combat ends. Abilities can be used a number of times per rest will only be restored when you rest in or use campaign supplies. Straining against a gale that threatens to pull you off of your feet with every step. You set your hands in the worn folds of the weathered rock and set about pulling yourself up the precipice. On the last burst of energy before your arms give out, you swing yourself up onto the ledge. Halvdan trails behind, slowed by injury and delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers who has been feigning death lunges for Halvdan and topples him onto the rocky ground. Restrained, Halvdan lashes out against his fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. Forgot the H. Without a weapon in your hands, you can do little to help him from where you stand. Grab a rock. Let's throw a rock. Aim is true, and the hit jars Halvdan loose. Lurching to his feet, Halvdan clambers up the base of the rocks. As he nears the top, however, the wind flares, pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. By diving out onto the hard rock, you manage to catch hold of it, securing his other hand. You pull with waning strength, and it feels as though your arms will be jerked from their sockets. They hold just long enough for Halvdan to set his feet and join you on the trembling ledge. There's a deep resonance to the swirling wind now. Feel it in the rocks beneath your feet, and inside cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. I know what happened to what was her name? Kalisha. Each new gust menaces the old stones before you, loosening connections and unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the old archway, the entire portal begins to fold beneath its own weight. Throughout their sneak attack ability, rogues have the highest. Through their sneak attack ability, rogues have the.
Was that?
A Bewick. Had to be.
Then we're lucky to be alive.
Alicia. Yeah, you got it right.
And we're the only ones.
We can't stay here. There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside.
A moment's respite. Alright, let's do a quick save real quick. And We should
What you need?
Yeah?
talk.
Hmm?
So let's talk to her.
Come on, we're not dying in this place.
That's what she's going to say.
Hmm? Come on, we're not dying in this place.
Oh,
Hey there.
I see.
This trip could have gone better.
What you need?
Low level ruins and blocked off by fallen rubble.
That should be far enough. But what now?
We look for another way out. Storm has to die sometime.
Windstorm of a kind they only get in Air Glenfath. Not too many people live through them, so it's hard to know what's true. Glenfathan word is Biavak. To them, it's the god's way of reaping the souls of the land that couldn't find their own way out. But they'll take a living soul as soon as a dead one. Still got yours. Who attacked us? Glenfathans. Those be the hut dwellers Adama warned you about. Look to be fangs of Galawain, who are the twitchiest of the lot. They go ruin to ruin looking for fights with colonists. Poor Adama. I think he half expected this once you lost the main road. I don't believe that. Demo would never allow it. But as much as the fangs are hotheads, Glenfathans don't attack without being provoked. Either way, they saw something and got the wrong idea, or she wants to them pass beyond, or there's looters in here with us. That's not something we need right now. The wheels got hold of them now. God's grant them better luck in their next lives. Maybe you just don't know me enough to know what upset looks like. And maybe I've seen worse too. Seen worse and kept on walking. Because there's nothing else to be done. Because there's other people you care about that still need you. Alright, now can I talk to this
How
guy?
can I help? This trip could have gone better.
What you need?
Nope. That's all he's gonna say. Which way should I go? Let's look at the map. This way first. The heck is that? Trembling, sickly creature emerges from the dark, clutching a spear. Knobby elbows and thin ribs show through its scaly flesh. You recognize it as a Zaurip. Watches you cautiously, breathing in ragged sighs. Creature cocks its head and approaches you, a soft clicking sound emanating from the back of its throat. It sniffs around you and finds nothing of interest, steps back and resumes its defensive posture. Guess we'll just keep. I guess that's what all it's gonna do. You coil his fingers still wrapped tight. Yeah, the spear. The creature cocks its head and approaches you. Okay. So back away. Okay. Well, what happens if I walk in here? Can I talk to it? No. It gets antsy and wants to attack me. Let's not fight it right now, because I don't know anything about it. And I kind of don't want to be mean to it. Because it's a tiny little creature. I won't be nice. Eastern Reach is a dangerous place full of lurking enemies and carefully concealed secrets. Enable scouting mode to move stealthily to search for hidden objects like traps and secret doors. That is very wise.
I'll take a peek.
Those tiles look suspicious. Let's be careful.
Worth a look.
Oh boy, look at all those traps. Alright, now, I'm guessing he's a rogue. Can he disarm them? What are his stats like? Mechanics. Okay. Mechanics. Alright, just for disarming traps. Alright, so let's see if he can. Or he can just step on it. That's. steps on it. Why is he not? Oh, there you go. I was collecting the wrong thing. Alright. Nice.
Worth a look.
What you need?
Ooh, crossbow, tattered journal. Oh, can I put stuff in my? Switch to new weapons. Right. So you got equipped. Okay, so fire armor. Put it in here. Put one of the shields away. Hatches. Bow. Wolf hide. Other armor. Okay. He's got a lot of daggers. His stats. Reaction speed and reflex. Damage stats because of eternity. Is damage completely based on a weapon? I guess you don't have to specialize in this game. Alright.
Wait. Do you hear that?
What is that thing? I don't know what a skull pup is.
Hey there.
I'm not very sneaky though. It is used both with stealth and for fighting. Adding a character's section will start to fill yellow and the character is starting to detect them. Once the circle fills yellow, the character is suspicious and will move to investigate. Fills red. If the circle becomes fully red, your character will be discovered. The character's ability to find hidden objects based on his or her mechanics skill. Higher mechanics skill allows him to find objects at a greater distance. Alright. Moving toward a character so that will be able to detect you. If you actually touch the selection circle of a character with your own, you will immediately be detected.
Show him how.
Whoops. Scalded meat. No wounds.
What you need?
Weird.
That looks weak. Could be a shortcut.
I could could scout ahead. See what's around the corner.
Hey there.
I'll have him switch to his to the bow. We do have two melee dudes already. Melee characters, I guess. Oh, I should have him.
How can I help?
Stay quiet.
No, no, no.
Hey there.
Here has become fatigue. Fatigue represents physical and psychological wear and tear of demanding activity on a character. Most commonly received as an injury when a character is knocked out, but some scripted interactions will also result in fatigue if they are especially grueling. Fatigue goes through multiple stages, initially inflicting minor penalties but growing in severity by time. Resting is the easiest way to remove. Oh, I still have to use. Okay. Food, potions. Any of that stuff. Stash. Quest items. Okay. Ingredients. Okay, so how do I craft that stuff? Huh, I can check. I can change stuff later, right. Okay, so how do I? Huh. Oh, that's right. We never read this. Hopefully, it's torn in several places, and blood has stuck in several of the sheets. One letter entry is still legible, however. I can't believe my luck. A few rounds of dice, and I've got my hands on a genuine Angwithian artifact. Philip had it said it was a pretty nothing. As far as he's concerned, he's not willing to go digging in some ruins. If he's right about this gem leading to a hidden treasure, then that's worth sneaking past a few painted elves. Head to Canlis in the morning, and it's just a matter of finding this relief he was talking about.
Sure.
How can I help? How can I help? Do you feel that? There's a draft coming through that wall. I don't hear any sign of that storm either.
Hey there.
Be quiet. How can I help?
What you need?
How can I help?
What you need?
That roundish symbol. I'm pretty sure I saw it on...
Hey there.
Cool symbol is inscribed on this pillar. An unlit brazier sits at its base. It could be lit if you had the means.
Sure.
This mural must be ancient, yet the color is still bright and vivid. It shows a procession of Angwithians from all the Keth races. They walk among pillars similar to the ones that span this chamber, each one topped with a flame. I guess I gotta light all of them.
What you need? What you need?
Unless you're immune to blinded days, frightened from terrified. Alright. What's the news? Plasma, and Jasper. Pole axe.
How can I help?
Yeah?
What's that muck on the wall?
This is oily. This muck clings to anything it touches. This is slick of something dark and tar-like runs down this hole. The shapes and bulges in the ooze suggest that something lies beneath it, but you can't tell what it is. Water skin to clear off the ooze. Streams the ooze away, revealing an intricate relief of a man's face. The sunburst surrounding it has chipped away in places, but the details of his head, from the tight curls of his hair to the ridge of his pointed ears, still showcase remarkable craftsmanship. One eye socket is empty. A gem fills the other. Place the gem in the eye socket. The chamber begins to rumble, stray rocks dancing across the tile floor. Finally, a large section of the wall gives way. Ooh. The heck? A lesser black ooze.
Sure.
What's this? Ooh, minor cloak for protection, amethyst, and Adra. Alright. 40 brute lesson. Well. Sure. Oh, I'll put that. I guess you're gonna put that for now. Nice. Alright, let's save and keep on trucking. So there, we still haven't gone this way. Alright, let's go this way, see what's over there. And we'll check the exit way thing, and we'll go back to visit this guy, I guess. Came from. Here. supplies, hammer and chisel. Simple iron hammer chisel useful for chipping away at hard surfaces. Delivery going to display structural weakness. Ah, that would have been useful. Let's go with some camping supplies. You can use these to rest in the wilderness or dungeons, fully restoring all their character's abilities and health. The difficulty allows you to carry more camping supplies, but hard restricts them severely. If you fully run out of camping supplies, try to find an inn. Most have cheap rooms available. Small shield and torch. Basically, this thing just gives you a bunch of useful goodies
Easy does it.
to pull around with. Alright. Let's see if this guy has anything useful.
How can I help?
Sneak, sneak. Let's see if you can sneak by him. Give scalded meat to the creature. Sure. So meat back and toss it onto the floor. Started to send fresh meat and its eyes starts to bleed and slow it creeps up. Towards the prize, shoving the spear into your grip and snatching the meat with both hands at the last moment. And skull it quivers as it devours the flesh in noisy chomps. Oh good. It's friendly. So, lockpicks.
Hey there.
Can I talk to it? It's the non-nos cartilage intended. Alright. Well, neat. Neato and also a burrito. Spear spider line. Kill it. Whoa, that's a big guy. Oh my God. Kick it. The kick. Knock it down. Oh, I killed it. At least they're dead. Spider eye. Bats as large as chickens are strung in the web. A rape tire and a bloodstone. What's an ingredient? Alright, this is where we get out of the thing. Creatures are bonded through animal companions, and the pair work best as a team. Another bush. Four figures stand before an otherworldly apparatus. This thing here. An ancient structure of chiseled adra and metallic veins, ominous and looming like a silent observer. Standing motionless in their midst is what appears to be a human body, colorless as stone or ash. The other figures gaze upon it in what might be contemplation. From your vantage point, you're well obscured from their view. The figure closest to the machine stands out among them. A thick gray beard frames a face otherwise hidden beneath a metallic mask. His faded robes are embroidered with a runic language unlike anything you have ever seen. And he wears a strange black headdress with two protrusions that jut out like the wings of some malevolent creature.
Oathbinder, bear witness, and see this man has kept his word true to his last breath, full to his blood's last drop. Guide his soul, queen that was, and regard it among your favored. Let his life by the key be his confession. Let his death by the key be his absolution. May he walk the world ever free of the crushing weight of the book. Your brother has done his part, and you have seen the power of his contribution. I will accept no further hesitation from the rest of you. In the sight of the queen that was, will you fulfill the oath? Will you take your place beside your brother in the endless esteem of her memory that is without flaw? step forth, and be assured of the great worth of your life's course.
Is that like a space cannon or something? That's weird. For an instant, the apparatus goes quiet and the air is still, then all at once it erupts with a concussive surge. Light floods your vision and you are knocked to the ground. Your head snaps back as you land. Pain spills into the back of your skull, washing your last thoughts away into the black unconscious void. You open your eyes to a different place, another time. You stand in a circular room, grand and domed, its walls lined with adra and trimmed with copper. The style is ancient, but the chamber is unweathered. At the far end of a great pillar of adra, pierces the floor from below, its shimmering texture giving the illusion of boundless depth. Encircling the pillar is an apparatus much like the one you have just seen, but immense and multifaceted and intertwined. Your thoughts are yours and not yours, and they seem to exist before you think them, and they are all questions. Pressing questions, troubling questions, questions that must be answered, or the base of the pillar now. You see a man with a thick gray beard, ceremonial robe, crowned with a strange ornamental headdress. You know this man. You're walking towards him now at a pace that is hurried, but try not to appear so. You have something you want to ask him, one question above all, and the question spins madly in your mind. What? You awaken to find your malaise is broken, only to be replaced with something far more concerning. Faint whispers are audible at the edge of your hearing, like a ringing in your ears that does not subside. Movement flits through your periphery, but when you turn to look, you can see no sign of whatever it was. You find your gaze regularly darting this way and that, an involuntary paranoid tic. If this is a sickness, it may be dangerous to go without treatment for long. The figures at the machine stand frozen in place, flesh and blood replaced by cinders and ash. The men who led them is nowhere to be seen. Heodan and Kalisha lie bloody on the uneven cobbles, their bodies twisted unnaturally in death. You are alone and far from help. Gilded Veil may be your best hope of receiving treatment before things get worse. Well,
I can think of a better place for this stuff.
Oh, he gave us the spear. Alright, don't need any of these weapons. Don't journal anymore. Shield. Actually, I should try with shield and see if something interesting happens with shield. Oh, I'll get one attack, I guess. The damage stays the same. So I get more defense, more deflection. Accuracy drops. I don't feel I need it really that badly. Yeah. My mechanical skill, I don't think is high enough to do anything. So, okay, let's keep it going. What's that? Tricap. There's some guy getting tortured. Incredible fatigue. Could I rest? Let's camp here. Let's rest. Massive structure is formed of stone, hydro, and copper, and covered in strange glyphs. The air around it vibrates with unusual energy. More stringberry. Pilgrim's Ground. So I'm in this. There's Valewood, and there's so that what was there? Interesting. Wow. Okay, so I guess we'll go here. 6 hours. It's really quiet right now. It's too loud in the menu, but no, it's too quiet. Look, it's a spirit thing. Oh, it must be part of my hallucinations. It'd be interesting if you got to play as a character that is seeing things that aren't there. I still haven't played Sinuous Sacrifice, so that, if I wanted that, I guess that would be a pretty good choice for me. I was interested in that style of game. I feel it would be cool in this as well. Look at that. It's an outlaw. Come to me. Tenfrit, and dwarf tending to this stew looks up, startled as he sees you approach. Up to his little parents' shoes. What? Benetton? Get her, you dogs, and make sure our new cook don't run off. Help, please, help. Ah. One of the Bennett gives him a quick kicks to pass him, and he huddles. The bow. Well, can't really go after him. I guess I'll go after this guy. He's either good or less. No one's hit me yet. Ah, there we go. Kick.
Show him how it's done!
How do you do?
Alright, the flame, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thought I'd be stuck cooking for these ignorant weasels for the rest of my life. They were bored with me, I suppose. Must get back home. I only hope they haven't hired a replacement. Listen, next time you're in Gildedville, stop by the Black Hound Inn. I'll let Pasha know just what you've done for me, and I'm sure she'll do right by you in turn. I'll have to be back at my oven again. You have earned a reputation. Reputation can be held with communities or factions in the Eastern Reach, and will affect how members of that group respond to you. In some cases, friends or enemies of those groups will also react to your Affiliation. Helping a group will increase your positive reputation with that group. Harming a group will increase your negative reputation. It is possible to have a mix of positive and negative reputation of the group if you help and harm them in equal measure. Okay. Let's see what these guys got. Let's have all this stuff. No. Trying to figure out from there. Okay. Yeah, I can put this in quick items. This in quick items. This is move stuff crash. Sure, I'll put that in there as well, and we'll put. Wow, so these guys are pretty cool. Just a cape that doesn't do anything. Okay. I mean, I can choose what it looks like. Looks way bulkier. It's lighter, and then this one is darker. I like this one. Keep a darker one. I guess we'll grab a hunting bow as an off weapon because why not? I guess. And the rest of the stuff will go in the stash. I do have scale armor. You know what? I'll look up the scale armor. Because why not? Tent is empty, but for a pair of stained cots and distinctive unwashed bodies. Fruit! Stiletto, rice, meats, poultry, kapa, and vegetables, like all the stuff you need to cook. What did I get up there? Oh, I never looted this guy, it seems. Sword. A young wolf, sure. Tinkling noise. I wonder how you level up in this game. I don't see a level indicator anywhere. Ah, there it goes. Experience. Oh, I do have enough to level up. How do I level up? Do I have to earn a certain something to level up? Maybe I do. These age balls appears to have once encircled this entire glade. Only a small fragment remains, and the stairs leading to the top of the structure have crumbled away. Examine the wall more closely. The bricks are slick with moss, presenting a hindrance to climbing, but the stones themselves seem sturdy enough. Given the right tools, one might reach the top easily. Scale the wall. When held up on a large stone circle to the top like uneven bricks, an odd angle of scale makes the climb difficult. And after a short distance, your arms begin to burn too fiercely, forced to drop back down to the ground. Okay, so I need something to deal with the moss. Maybe I need to be stronger physically. Endurance, that's endurance and perception. Endurance and constitution. Endurance and might. So that might help. How about this? Might in here. How about damage reduction? Endurance. No. Not rice. It's just endurance. Alright, so if I eat this meat, maybe it'll work. Let's try again. So, no. Not strong enough. Maybe I can craft some sort of meal? Pearlwood chicken. Max endurance and 2 constitution. Sure, we'll craft one of these guys. Wizards double. Scroll. Prayer against fear. Oh, can I add? Oh. No, cannot add notes on the map. Cabbage, potatoes. I see. So this is where they caught the poor little wolf. Come on, Wolfie. Dirt from a few muddy vegetables. The waterfall. Alright, so I've seen all this stuff on this side, so we'll keep going. Okay. Survival skill is used to identify plants. Guess I should
I'll take a peek.
sneak be looking for stuff. What is that? That is a bear. So I feel like fighting a bear. That's weird. Fight the bear! Woo-wee. Ouch. When a party member is reduced to 0 endurance, they are knocked out. This means they're out of the fight, but as long as your side is victorious, they will regenerate their endurance when combat ends. Even though endurance regenerates after combat, health does not. Keep an eye on the bar to the left of a character's portrait to prevent them from becoming maimed or killed. So let's see if we can be a bit luckier.
Sure.
Beer. Help Barb against flashing red as a sign that they may soon be maimed and killed. That's our enemies to restore health. I can drink stuff like that, but in combat, I see. I think I might be able to kill it if I have some buffs on me before I go into that fight. Damage reduction. Let's drink that. Remove from crash. Mask will crash. Plus 3 perception for 600 seconds. Plus 25 defense against ground attacks. Affects the ground itself. Or creates a above it. I love this one. Attack speed, move speed. Okay, sure. We'll use this as well. Max endurance, max endurance. Oh, didn't I make a meal? Yeah, I made a meal. Yeah. Alright.
Sure.
So I have a bunch of buffs now, so I should be able to deal with this. Bear! Come on, baby. Okay, so I can't fight the bear yet. Alright. Run away! Okay.
Sure.
No, I ate the meat. Oh, that's right, I ate the meat before I even came in the cave. Okay. Alright, so that's everything. Alright, so let's head this way. No, so to get there, I guess we have to take this exit down here specifically. Ooh. Who's this guy? Hunter.
Hail, traveler.
This man appears to be hardly dismantling his camp in quick, jerky movement. Except as he approaches, expression tense and drawn. Greetings, says, a little breathless. Your way south, is it? I've turned to face you. The sooner we were clear these woods, the better, I think. What's your hurry? The man looks down at the pen in his hands. I mean, to follow my own advice. You met here on a hunt, me and a friend of mine. Though it would be, but we'd bring a stag home, eat something other than bread for once. Came up on a bear instead. Great monstrous thing. And Pearly, he didn't make it. I don't know what I'll tell his wife. Case this forest already cost me a friend. I'm heading home before it takes anything else. Name's Nanton, born and raised in the Gilded Vale. I haven't had a spot of luck since. Luckier than Pearly, I suppose. Like your friend, we didn't see it coming. We were following the stag, Pearly. He saw something in the brambles. We went tearing off after it. We all but stumbled into the cave. Poor Pearly didn't stand a chance. The bear was on top of him before we knew what was happening. The beasts will take what they will, I suppose. She smiled sadly. And this time, Galawain's favor fell upon the bear. Cave a ways up. That way, I wouldn't seek it out if I were you. It was a great brute of a beast. Would hate to hear that it took another life.
Greetings.
Right, so if I go this way, go down. Okay, nice. This journey has been localized in several languages. If you would like to experience the game in a different language, you can do so through the options menu. Maybe I should play it in Russian. Help my horrible reading in Russian. It'll take a while to get through the game, though. If I do that. It's a long-ass game as it is. Oh, that's a happy place.
You must be one of the new settlers. Welcome to Gilded Vale. You'll be pleased to know that we've had some recent vacancies here. Of course, we'll need to make some inquiries first. The inestimable Lord Radric VII has taken great pains to insulate our town from Widewind's legacy. Have you ever conceived a Hollowborn child? An infant born without a soul, of course. Lord Radric has made it his first priority to eliminate this scourge from our village. I should warn you, stranger. Here in Gilded Vale, we have a special place for dissidents, charlatans, and those who would hide a curse in our midst. His lordship's wife is with child and due any day now. Without his approval, I shan't be able to find you a permanent settlement. It will have to wait until after the birth. We can continue our interview then, after the bell tolls from Radric's hold to signal my lord's new heir. In the meantime, you can find temporary accommodations at the inn just southwest of here.
But you foreigners not have this curse in your homelands. Hollowborn have been a scourge upon the Deerwood for almost 15 years now. Children born without souls. Pitiful, dumb things that breathe barely, but do not truly live. Some say the Hollowborn are a disease, some say they are a punishment from the gods. It raises his empty hands. In truth, no one knows, but they began spreading after the Saints' War, and so the name Widewind's legacy stuck in honor of that foul, blasphemous pretender. Lord Radric's decree may seem strict at times, but he has our best interests at heart. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. It's important that everyone in Gilded Vale understand the rules. If you'd been that close to Balak, you wouldn't be standing here.
Whatever your problem, it sounds like a matter for an animancer. However, the only animancer in Gilded Vale isn't in any condition to speak. Consider yourself fortunate. After she failed Lord Radric, we saw to it that she wouldn't profit from the misplaced trust of others. A bad cure is often worse than none at all. But if you're set on finding a bottle of troll piss or a dead Audra pebble to rub on your forehead, you're welcome to check her pockets. A little corpse stink is nothing when you're digging for shit. My advice, however, is to be satisfied that you escaped and leave it at that. Keep out of...
Listen!
2 tolls. Let that be the last.
3. Gods have mercy.
It seems your arrival is ill-timed. Three bells toll only for the death of a Radric. I fear Lord Radric's heir is lost, or else Hollowborn, and so lost all the same. You should tread carefully. Circumstances have changed a great deal.
There is no threat, no warning. Lord Radric will tolerate no threats to his kin, or those who live upon his lands. Grief will not make him more docile. You come to us at a time of mourning. Legacy has struck at the heart of Gilded Vale. Our efforts to redeem ourselves in the eyes of Barath must be redoubled. I will know more details when the messengers arrive. vagaries of childbirth, perhaps. But that is not your concern. I can be sure of nothing right now. I advise you to get some rest, the inn, or a stable for all I care. Find me afterwards. I will know more soon enough. Oh, the whole town's revealed. Okay, guess I'll just look around. Ooh, there's a kitty. A dry wooden woman is standing in front of the fireplace, humming a quiet tune to herself, or perhaps to her unborn child, for she's clearly quite pregnant. She turns her head slightly as you enter.
Good day to you.
So I was well, fine. I was starting to think the woman makes a startled noise. She turns around and sees. Oh my! I'm sorry. I was expecting someone else. She gives you a cautious smile. Can I help you? Nice cat. Oh, thank you. She's a sweetheart. Keeps the house clear of mice too. I'm expecting my sister, Kalisha. Ooh, that's her sister. Ooh, she was one of the caravans. She sent a letter before she came. She said she was going to pay her way by working as a guard for the caravan master. She always was a tough one. I don't suppose you've seen her on the road, or the caravan, perhaps. The hand eyes wide with horror for a few moments. She can manage nothing but a strangled voices, gasping, her eyes brimming with tears. I told her it was a dangerous path to take. Alicia was always so certain she could take on any danger. Oh, my poor sister. I'm sorry, stranger. I just can't believe she's gone. If only I hadn't called her here. If I hadn't written to her, she might still be alive somewhere. Alicia, I'm worried about the baby, about the legacy. I told Alicia as much as I could, but all I know is that for a long time now, every child born in Gilded Vale has been soulless, empty. It's happened to so many mothers, and Lord Raedric, he's exiled all of them, calling it a sign of the gods' disfavor. With my Hathor gone, I don't know how I'd manage if I'd lost my home too. Hope Kalisha could help me. They say Ranga, the old midwife, knows a way to prevent a child being hollow-born, but she moved south to the compass 2 seasons ago. The journey's too far for me. I can't make it as I am, but I don't have anyone else now. With Kalisha gone, please, can you help me? I'll find Ranga for you. You will? Oh, God's bless you here. I'll give you a point to repay her with. You needn't trouble yourself with that. I think it's a drink she fashions out of, well, I'm not sure. It shouldn't be too much of a burden to carry back. Antlog's compass is what we call the lagoon to the south. We'll have to cross the wilds to get there. That's what keeps me from trying it myself. Thank you again. Truly, you'll be saving us both. Kitty. Kitty. This Warren Dog-eared book is titled Travels Upon the Silk Glass Sea. There is an etched illustration of a vast finned leviathan. Oh, that's stealing. I'm not stealing. Nice. Okay, so this game is stealing mechanics. Neat. Okay, so that's one person that I reckon. Ooh. As you near, you feel a vibrant history contained in the essence of this man's soul. voices from its past seem to call out to you. Check for this up. You see a lone man standing in a field. He looks around, surveying the crops. Occasionally he bends to examine a leaf up close. He's intent on what he is doing, completely absorbed in his work. This man approaches him from behind. He moves slowly, but does nothing to mask his approach. In his hand he holds a large sword. There appears to be no malice or hatred in the man's demeanor. He almost seems pleased. The first man hears his approach and stands turning away from the plant he was inspecting. His face breaks into a smile. He opens his arms to welcome the approaching man. The smile freezes into a grimace as the second man thrusts the sword through his stomach, its blade now protruding from his back. His arms slowly fall to his side, and blood starts to drip from the sword onto the plants below the man. As the first man crumples to his knees, the second pulls the sword out, a tear slowly falling down the cheek of his still smiling face. Okay. A group of people gathered around the ruins of a house. The destruction continues out from the single dwelling through the entire village. Not a single building still stands. Rubble is scattered everywhere. One of the men in the group leans over something in the debris. It is this man, younger, barely more than a boy. The man reaches out and shakes the boy by the shoulder. The boy makes no sound, doesn't respond to the man's disturbance. The man looks up to the other members of the group and shrugs, standing to rejoin his friends. The boy suddenly sits up, eyes wide. He scrabbles backwards, away from the group, looking around in horror. The group moves towards him in unison, eliciting a yelp from the boy who tries to move further away. The woman in the group puts out her hands, stopping the rest. She turns to them reproachfully, motions for them to stay, and looks at the boy. Jesus! The hell? Why is my phone blowing up? Okay. And looks at the other. He's trying to push himself through remains of a wall. Seems unaware he has even stopped. The woman slowly moves towards the boy, hands out, speaking in a low, calming voice. For a time, the boy doesn't even hear. He just closes his eyes and braces himself against the wall, expecting violence. Eventually, the woman's words work through the fear, and he hears her. She has tear-filled eyes and stares at her. She holds out a hand to him. He looks at it, seemingly confused by the offer, then hesitantly reach out. She takes his hand in hers and leans down to help him stand. Okay, that's kind of weird. Ooh.
Yeah?
Level up. Interesting. So I got stealth, lore, mechanics, or survival. I'm going with lore. I like lore. Ooh, I have 5 points. Points in lore. Couple points in athletics. Let's put survival. We haven't tried. Okay. Next. Okay, so I could do a class thing, an offensive or utility. Fast runner. Son of flames, just like a perk. Triage, quick switch, secrets of grind. So these are all different damage reductions. Offensive, hold the line. Weapon focus. Oh, so you can get weapon focus, which I guess it boosts your accuracy when you use that weapon. Interesting. I don't think any of these. Peasant would give me extra accuracy with unarmed. Lesser wounds. Monk's wound threshold, allowing him to know how to gain wounds at a faster rate. Mortification of the soul. Grants protection of the soul 3 per rest. Affect the user +1. The monk immediately inflicts enough raw damage on herself to herself or harmful to gain a wound. It's radiant. And for encounters, speed fast. So good. Endurance. Sneak attack. Spirant's Mark. Character has attuned themselves to the natural world like a druid and is able to focus its power on any effective nature's mark spell. Effect felt a deflection reflexes. Enigma charm. Throw charmed, gallant focus. Use might, constitution, +1 understand deflection, health, and endurance conceal for. Interesting. Okay. Prestigious missiles. Oh, prestigious missiles. Head wizard characters learn how to duplicate the effects of one of the most popular spells. Okay, so it's just a ranged attack. Does crash corrode damage. Raimers summon 2 human skeletons. Wounding shot. Hobbled. So it does damage and it hobbles them. And it doesn't cost a wound. Veterans recovery. Go with that. I think what I want to do is I'm going to do use missiles. Just a sneak attack. Aspirant's Mark. One per encounter. So it lowers your defenses. Is there something that boosts my defense? And shields a graceful retreat. Fortitude, resist attacks. The internal physical system of the character according to disease. Reflex. The way of physical. New attacks is character dodge out of the effect of physically harmful AoE attacks. Okay. Runner plus move speed. Damage reduction to burn. Shock, corrode, freeze. Switch. Wound binding. Heal wounds. And field triage. Okay. I'm gonna grab. I'm gonna go with peasant. This gives me +6 accuracy for unarmed. I'm gonna go with that. Done. Okay.
Hey there.
I can't even talk to these guys.
Sure.
Alright. Let's check the rest of this. Check this village some more. One character you may want to review their statistics. On the character sheet to see their attributes, skills, and stuff in greater detail. What's this? rot stew. Cold rot stew. Staple of the cold rot chew, not stew. Chew is a favorite of farmers with a minor boost in energy it provides. Those who use it often find that they feel sluggish when they stop. Chew is made of some root of the golden celery plant. Oh, I see. So to simulate addiction, you get all those boosts for 600, and then for 600 you feel like crap. But if you use it again after you feel like crap, it removes it, so you can keep riding that high. Interesting. It's an interesting mechanic. I like that. Despite the range of stalks, it feels dry and stiff as the locust husk. Locust's husk. Some information you have unlocked about every creature type. Bestiary. I don't see a bestiary. Cyclopedia. Oh, bestiary. Ooze. Lesser black ooze. Neat. Wolf. Young wolf. Deities. Equipment. Locations. Lore. Tips. Backer content. What? Friendly fall. Oh, many hotkeys. Queuing actions. Shift clicking a series of actions or waypoints adds them to. Aha, that's important. Quick stash. Item in a container while holding the shift key will move it directly to your stash. Alright, let's see what these dudes. Engineers, history. Alright. See a crowded marketplace, vendor stalls lining the road, their proprietors' voices calling out to passersby to come sample their wares. This woman wanders through the throngs, strolling hand in hand with another woman. They peruse the vendor's goods, tarrying at a book merchant with a number of old and beautiful tomes, chatting with one another about what they see. One will pick up a book and show it to the other, who will take it, comment on it, and place it back on its shelf. Then the first will snatch up the book again and quickly pay the merchant before the other can snatch it back. Walk away from the market weighed down but with packs filled with books, still hand in hand, standing close, comfortable and familiar with each other. As they pass down a somewhat deserted street, an object suddenly hits this woman in the chest and bounces off, rolling away towards one of the buildings. The woman stop and look at the object, an apple, and back at the person who threw it. There's nothing special about him aside from the angry look on his face and two other apples he holds before either woman can move them and draws back and throws another one at them, this time hitting the second woman in the forehead. Yells at them something derisive and hateful, something about a legacy and about responsibilities. The woman raises her hand to her head and wipes the juice and bits of fruit from her face and stares the man down defiant. The first woman squeezes her hand and puts the other on her companion's shoulder, attempting to calm her down. The other woman pulls the book from her back and holds it before her, muttering under her breath. She pulls her hand free and waves it above the book. An aura forming around her. The first woman is still trying to calm her down, but all she says goes unheard. The man, uncaring for the events happening in front of him, draws back and throws the last apple. As it arcs through the air towards him, the second woman brings up her hand and points at the apple. Glowing orb of energy flies from her hand and strikes the apple, causing it to explode, raining bits of apple down on the road and buildings around them. The man's face changes, anger joined by fear, looking like he's trying to decide if running or attacking is the better course of action. The second woman has started chanting again, her hand glowing, her eyes narrowing. This woman steps in front of her, placing herself between her love and their attacker. She touches her face, gently stroking it while whispering common words. A kiss. The woman's countenance changes. She comes, her eyes softening, her lips regaining the lost smile. The first woman smiles again as well and kisses the other. Wizard scum, the man behind them says, and the two women turn to face him, staring him down defiantly. They join hands and begin walking again, moving past him without so much as a sideways glance. There she is. How do I get out of this mode? See a key turn gently, steadily. You hear a ghostly click as the door swings inward. Two figures slip in, locking the door behind them, and begin their prowl. Their hunt is efficient, and it takes them little time to acquire a sizable collection of documents in oddly shaped velvet pouches. Quick hands fill pockets, rucksacks, bags. The door opens downstairs, and everything freezes. Footsteps. A tired giggle. The thieves are all eye whites and short breath as they empty their pockets of all but the necessities. Anything noisy, hurriedly replaced. Silence from downstairs, then tentative steps up the staircase. A voice calls out. One thief creeps forward, the other gesticulating wildly for him to return. Continues forward, crouching by the banister. Sees a gaudy shoe and shoves. The woman falls with a cut-off screen, rolling lifelessly to the floor below. Swearing, the second thief grabs her brother, and they make their escape, collecting whatever of value they can on the way. How do I talk to people without doing this weird thing? No, not stealing nothing. Let's scurry behind the sacks. They need a kitty cat. Meow meow. Kitty kitty. Someone's watching me. Hello, somebody. So, wow, the house not even marked. Interesting. It's a moon. No, what is it? Godlike. It's a godlike. Okay. I'm tired of. Can I just talk to someone? Custom information. I do not need custom information. I didn't know it was a button. Press. Now there's more grain in there. Trumbull. You won't settle for scraps, but you grow fat in our crops. The first of you drunkards comes to the door, gets a shot between the eyes. Gods hear me, Swainer. I'll put you down like a dog. Come away for now, lads. But we'll be back. Trumbull, and we'll have fair prices, or by the flame we'll have a reckoning. Against the grain. Huh, that's clever. Hey, look at that. An elven man stands before you. His relatively stocky build suggests a life of labor. His face is pale and drawn, his eyes wide behind him. His eyes wide. Behind him, a younger man and woman exchange worried glances. The miller raises a club as you enter, shakes violently in his grip. Get back if you value your life. I don't like being threatened. We have that in common, then. All the poison swinners dripping in their ears. It's not going to be long before someone decides they'd rather do things the messy way. And I won't let anything happen to my family. Who's the dwarf? One standing out there spreading lies among the villagers. Bastard's been here for decades, and he hasn't gotten any kinder with time. Miller hesitates and lowers the club of fraction. Who are you? A spirit roping foreigners in his little crusade now. Only just arrived. It's a bad time to come visiting. The Vale's had all its shine scraped off. Just a big dung heap now. And Swainer's thinking he's king of it. They're all of them mad. What's that ruckus? Where to begin? There's whipped them up into a froth, going on about the grain stores, claims I've hidden away most of it. All I do with the grain is sell it. I can't create it out of thin air, and I can't hand it out for free. pay the farmers for the crops they bring in, and I sell what comes out of the mill. Most of it goes to the Black Hound on the west side of town for ale. And Swainers and his lot sure don't mind that part. You could look at the fields on the way into town. The crop's blighted. Most of what I'm getting from the farmers. Sacks and containers. It's gone off, rotted through. Ken paid top prices for blighted wheat, and I've barely got enough good grain to go around. Swinner is howling after things he has no right to. I'd be grateful if you did. You won't listen to me anymore. Maybe you'll have better luck. Tell him we're all having a hard time of it, and we'll all have to make some sacrifices. We'll be in your debt for it, if you can convince him. Okay. Just be stealing? Good. Can't talk to other people.
Well met, friend.
Okay. Surprised that even mills with such a shoddy windmill setup. Ingra, this man and woman appear to have been deep in conversation, working at closing two bulging satchels. They move to embrace until the woman notices you approach and pauses, her smile faltering a little.
Good day, stranger.
Can we help you? She looks at her companion, brows furrowed with confusion. You know this woman? Mountain? Yes, I think we met in the Vale Wood. I warned her about the bear. Noticed you made it. There's something else you wanted? You two seem to be in a hurry. Yes, I imagine so. Packing for a trip, actually. To visit Defiance Bay, and she says, well, in truth, I think I've had my fill of this town. Tell me about you'll want to be moving on as soon as you can. You'll have seen the tree, I imagine. The rot goes deeper. If you were looking for work, I'd say you have a better chance of it elsewhere. Interesting. Oh. Well, since they're packing to leave, anything I can take is neat. It's a book. Like this one. Yeah, but cool. This bottle of sunrise is half empty. I have a feeling that this guy is lying to me, and he tricked his friend into going in there to take his stuff. But it's not something I can really easily prove now, is it? There's a lot of mushrooms around here. Can I find anything about these guys? Can I talk to them maybe? Comes from a line of nobles who have defended these lands since Iadire times. Raedric II was an early supporter of Dirwudan independence during the revolution, and the current lord's father perished in the Saint War. A Hollowborn began appearing in the Dirwood shortly after the war's end. But Raedric has taken it upon himself to purge the curse from Gilded Vale. His measures have been severe but necessary. Unfortunately, it may not have been enough, if the bells were any indication. They're just the most egregious example of a man's madness. 15 years ago, the people of Ritiras decided that Waidwen, their living saint, was the literal incarnation of the god Eothas. This supposed saint took it upon himself to liberate the Deerwood, supposedly from allegiances to less worthy gods, but have never known an army to conquer a land for his people's own good. The war lasted about a year, but you can guess what that year did to the worship of Eothas in the Deerwood. Lord Raedric's forebears had all been Eothasians, but after his father fell defending us from those fanatics, he personally saw that the temple of Eothas here in town was shut down. Huh. We're a frontier village, as are most settlements in this Deerwood. Gilded Vale hasn't grown much since its establishment in the colonial days, and the last 15 years have seen our population shrink further. Hence our recruitment of fresh settlers. We're approaching shrinking. Yes, the hallowed births. Those ruins behind the tree. Discuss the temple of Eothas. Lord Raedric forbade worship of the dead god after the Saint War. It's been abandoned for almost 15 years. There are plans to rededicate it to Barath, the god of life and death. Alright. So I can still talk to people. Only some people. Either.
Were you looking for someone in that tree? I could introduce you.
Town's up there now, seems like. No real way to talk about it. My condolences. Exultant turned his attention away. I guess that's what I have to say. Scattered between the roots are bracelets of twine, bead, wilting flowers, and notes half erased by the rain. More mushrooms. There's something below there. It's a children. Let's go look at this children. A rarity in these parts, it seems. Where's the children go? There it is. Hello, children. I saw someone go into the temple. Papa says we're not supposed to. Here for Bible history for the soul. You see a pennant waving tall and sluggish in the wind, rising sun embroidered on the banner, the vanguard of a small troop of Paladins. You know what? These little stories are cool and all, but there's too many of them to read. I'm also getting pretty hungry. It's around lunchtime now. So I'll probably play for a bit longer and then call it a day. The rising sun and the three dawn stars, the symbol of Eothas.
They'll never know I'm here.
Oh, they'll know. You're pretty. Please help me. Man lies resting against the wall, lit by the dim illumination of the fading sconces. His gaunt, fox-like aspect, and his face is pale and damp like sweat. One arm is held loosely against his side, sleeve soaked with blood. Gives you an anxious glance as you near. His features twisted with pain.
Hail and well met.
Huh. Thought you were some... Never mind. Wherever you are, you've traveled a long way to reach a dark place. This temple isn't what it used to be. Probably for the best. Times being as they are. Drums in ship's position. Wincing. I'm no looter, if that's what you're thinking. Not one of the faithful either. Just wanted to do some good, I suppose. Got my arm clawed up for it. Allegedly. Maybe you'd have some better luck. What's happening here? I was trying to avoid the spiders. Ran into a scolder. Might have gone a little better for me if the beast had knocked the sword out of my hand. Lead blade too, but it was still lying there in the dust. But I'm not, so that's alright. What are you doing down here? These ruins around us used to be a temple of Eothas. Eothas, the scattered god. A grand temple at that. His worshippers would come from all over the Deerwood, from Reed Siras, even till the war, of course. Even then, you get some of the stubborn ones that couldn't get it through their head that their god was dead and gone. So legacy started. Lord Raedric decided he had been too lenient on the Eothasians. He had his people go in and put them to the sword, left them down here, buried under a heap of rock. After that, Raedric ordered the temple sealed. It's been years like that, up until recently. Lord Raedric hopes that if we rededicate the temple to a living god, then we'll be forgiven. The legacy will end. See? But until then, the temple is, as you see, unguarded. Well, that's where you come in. Those priests, maybe they didn't have a lick of sense between them, but they still didn't deserve to go like that, chopped down in their god's house. Doesn't sit right with me. If you can get down there, find the remains, maybe we can finally give them a proper burial. No small task. There's coin for you if you need motivation. Sure, I'll find them. By the flame, I owe you a good turn. But listen, the temple's been sealed off for so long it's crawling with creatures. But if you get past them, the priests would have been down on the lower floor. Be there still, if they're anywhere. Those priests had all kinds of secret chambers, switches in the walls, trick sconces, that kind of thing. Keep an eye out, and take care down there. I wouldn't want to have to send someone else after your remains. I'll wait here by the stairs and keep a lookout. Maybe try to patch myself up some. Hey, look at that, he's standing.
Hello!
Upper level, no sense of anything yet. Alright. So, let's see what's in here.
Easy does it.
Sneak, 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 sneak. Sneaky, 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 sneak. Sneaky, 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 sneak. A spuda. Okay. Just do one spuda. Kill the spuda. Punch it. Punch it. Kick it. I kicked it. Yeah. Alright. Is there anything here? Oh wow. My health. Initiates notes. This parchment is relatively intact. The ink upon it has faded. You can make out a few patches of careful, tidy script. Visitors to virtual floor. Rectrix. Says redemption for even these. Redemption for even these. Forgot and struck the largest spell first rather than the second. The rest is illegible. That might actually be useful, so I want to carry this with me. Where are you going? Don't need the helmet or this, or this, or this, or this, or this. There's nothing to do, I guess. Okay.
I'll take a peek.
I'll teach you a lesson. Show him how it's done.
Jasper, a letter home. Mother, I've asked Brother Edric to carry this letter to you, for he travels to New Helmar. Come morning with him goes what coin I have, and I hope it will ease the surprise of an unexpected homecoming, for I mean to follow in a few days' time. Our village is much changed, though I do not wish for you to worry. I do not feel it is safe to remain. No, Rectrix Urbita will not approve, but the letter trails off. Okay. Not as important. Step to your left and heard ink is dripping across the scroll. I am very surprised that there's any ink at all. Could have probably evaporated in all this time. Turned solid.
They'll never know I'm here.
Should have even bothered with that. What's my mechanics looking like? That's 0. Yeah, it's pointless. Willow West. Am I stunned? Residue. This parchment is worn
I'll take a peek.
and tattered and ink point fitted. What's this?
I'll teach you.
Okay. So my health is fairly low. Yes, I know. Brown tears flicker in the toe of your boots. Spirit, the nearby crystal's light, the cracked mosaic floor in shades of orange, and at certain angles the metallic floor beneath your feet gleams gold. Look on, the air shimmers as if with summer heat. Very dust and air seem to pull together until a thin, glowing mist appears before you. In its rippling gleam, you sometimes think you can see the shapes of a man, features rendered in broad strokes of air and smoke. Who are you? Your voice sparks movement. The spirit surges with a sudden blazing light. The next moment, you are somewhere else. Your mind assailed with a sudden wave of fear and noise. You're in the chapter hall. Priests and faithful have gathered in a great crowd, spilling into the hall. Bodies pressed against you, surging forward to listen. Your own grief is mirrored in the faces around you. Some of the initiates are weeping. Someone has snuffed the candles and the room is dark, save for the podium, lit from behind. 2 people stand before it, lit in silhouette. A man is shouting, voice so ragged with fear you cannot understand what he says, but the rectrix stands calm, unmoved. Her strength will see you all through these dark times. You feel that hope like a spark behind your ribs. Somewhere behind you, someone begins to sing. Spirit tears itself from you with sudden dizzying force, and you find yourself back before the ruined altar swaying. Spirit fades, suddenly is reviewed. Must refuse to strike off on pushing Let me see if I can make it. Good writer. Let's go about that. Smolder well. Sure. Ooh, nice straight smolder. Might be a little slow. Okay. Yeah. I think we'll lose this. Ooh, maybe. Alright, so I definitely need to rest. So let me autosave. Where load the autosave? It's really too far back, yeah. Quick save. And go ahead and rest. I am. Actually, can I craft some? No, I'm crafting it. Alright, let's rest. Your sleep is restless and fervent, assaulted by hisses and whispers, blanketed with a suffocating anxiety. You open your eyes to awaken and find yourself in front of Gilded Vale's gallows tree, the creaking of its ropes growing louder in your mind until the sound is deafening. Hanging from the tree is an old dwarf woman whose face has shriveled inward like moldering fruit. Her head hangs limply to one side. As you look at her, she looms larger and larger in your mind until she is mere inches from your face. Suddenly her head snaps up and her eyes open, and they are empty, and behind them is a vast nothingness that makes your stomach drop. Her mouth slowly parts, and with a gust of rancid air she speaks a word. Watcha. You jolt awake, the foul smell of the dwarf woman's breath still permeating your nostrils. Sweat runs down your face in thick droplets, and your skin is soaked from head to toe. You remember the woman. You remember seeing her decaying face when you spoke with the magistrate. He called her an animancer. Though it fills you with a new, queasy apprehension, you feel a strange compulsion to see this woman once more, if only to confirm she is truly dead. Okay,
Sure.
Let's finish this dungeon real quick. Oh, we want to fight the wolf because he's weaker first.
That's how it's gonna go.
Hey, another level. Oh, I see. The higher it up, the more it takes. Interesting. So it could be Jack of all trades, Master of none. Yeah, I'm gonna go with. Yeah, I'm gonna go with what I've got so far. Ooh, new abilities I have Swift Strikes, turning. So these I just get all of these. Swift Strikes. Oh no, I can only pick one. It's a new ability, right? Force of Anguish, powerful attack that knocks the target back as a significant distance. Attack is successful, target bumps others out of the way and bounces off hard surfaces like walls before Ending up prone, requires 2 wounds. Long stride, passive to move to turning wheel, sub burn damage per wound. The monk is able to channel physical pain into pure energy and redirect it. While the monk has wounds, he or she adds a proportional fire bonus to. It's alright, I guess. When the sins become frenzied blows. I want to go with Force of Anguish, because that sounds really useful. Excellent. Alright, so save. So let's check these. Monsters of the Deadfire Archipelago. Let's put that in the library. Scroll of Jolting Touch. There's 2 lore. What a scolder. Punch this guy out of the way. And then we'll punch this guy right here. Oh, what's this? I think that was supposed to be. Very neat. Ooh, a fine sword. That's this guy's fine sword. I guess I can give it back to him. Oh, okay, so I could use lockpicks. I have 3 lockpicks.
I see where you're going with that.
Let's see. Interesting. That's really cool. So I could use 3 lockpicks.
This calls for a subtle touch.
Oh, I need at least 1 mechanic stuff. Alright, see. Okay, maybe I should have put 1 point in. Great Western Stag. Versus. I wonder, can I attack this thing? No. Okay.
Show him how.
Permanent scored these plates. The mold still grows in green black clumps across the table. Collapsed stones are pocked with furrows and narrow crevices. Claw marks and dung marks. Claw marks and dung mark. Wow. That's a poorly constructed sentence. Ow.
It's not what I was expecting.
Spell word on it. Garnet. Right, so that's how it looks. What's this? Some defense against spells. I like that better. It's just much more roundabout thing. This thing is just. But I mean, like, if I equip it right now, does. It's just 1 more damage, but. Not as good, probably. It's a big one. Ooh, that's a lot of them. I just straight up killed him. Let's do this instead. Oh, cool. this guy away as well. I went through all my health. Oh no, it was just endurance, right? Wow, that was a tough one. Alright, I think I'll save right here and call this a day. Alright, let's write up the review for this bad boy. Review. The first impressions. It's probably a 100 hour game at like a minimum. I've gotten like 3 hours out of it. 3% of the way through. Pillars of Eternity. Classic CRPG from the makers of Baldur's Gate. As many parallels to it too. The writing is excellent. The story interesting, and the mechanics fresh. Granted, I haven't had much luck with combat monk. Also, haven't really had that thing where I heal myself when my health drops below certain points. This is barely enough for first impressions of this game. If you enjoy CRPGs, if you don't, this won't allow you to the point where you must play it. Alright, so you know, if you like CRPGs, like me, yeah, so the CRPG over there doesn't get changed, but the one over here does. That's weird. Yeah, let's change Baldur's Gate. Haven't. Yep. If you have the time and interest in playing text-heavy CRPGs, this will be right up your alley. Otherwise, I wouldn't say it would be something you should invest a lot of time into, unless you want to invest a lot of time into it. You know? Like, if you're a hardcore gamer and you don't like CRPGs, it's okay for you to pass on this. If you want to try a CRPG, this is an excellent place to try. to start. There are some that are much less text heavy that would be a much better starting point. The Neverwinter Nights series is good. Divinity, Original Sins, another good starting point that's a little less text heavy compared to this. And you don't have to micromanage quite as many characters. And you can play it with a friend. I'm not sure if you can play this one with a friend. Let's have a quick check. Oh, the game is a sequel. I guess that was mentioned in the thing. It is single player only. So it's more CRPGs if you enjoy CRPGs, and if you enjoy CRPGs, there are a few of them, but you could dedicate your whole life to playing all of them, and you might still not find every tiny bit of writing in all of them. They are heavy. On the other hand, if you're not into it, you're not curious, or anything like that, might not be something that you need to pick up. Like grand strategy games. They're excellent games. But if you're not into grand strategy games, you're not into grand strategy games. Same thing could be said of racing games and simulations and the whole lot of them, and sports games. All the same category. Very niche games. Some less niche than others, but all the same, they're niche. Alright, I've already spoken long enough about this game, I feel. Have a good day.